let's take a look at integrals of vector valued functions. So just like we can differentiate vector valued functions, we can also integrate them. We're going to first just explore what indefinite integrals are of vector valued functions, how to interpret them, and we'll do one example. So let's suppose that we have a vector function, r of t, whose components are f of t, g of t, and h of t. F, g, and h are continuous and differentiable function, and their antiderivatives are capital F of t, capital G of t, and capital H of t. So we define the integral of r of t dt as the integral of our vector function f of t, g of t, h of t dt. And we can actually integrate component by component. So this is the same as the integral of, let me put this in parentheses, the integral of f of t dt I plus the integral of g of t dt j plus the integral of h of t dt k. So the result is also a vector. Note that we have our I, j, k. We have integrated component-wise, and so if in fact capital F is the antiderivative of lowercase f, then this would be capital F of t, I, plus, same thing with g. Suppose that capital G is an antiderivative of lowercase g. We have g of t, j, plus h of t, k. Now, this is an indefinite integral, so we're also going to have a constant vector that we add at the end to give us the entire family of functions, family of vector functions whose derivatives is the given vector function. So this is a family of antiderivative vector functions. And that constant c that I added at the end means it's a vector, but it's a constant vector, so the components are scalars. And we need this because we know that when we take the derivative of, for example, this function, let's call it capital R of t, that represents the family of antiderivative of lowercase r of t, then the derivative of a scalar vector, or a vector whose components are scalars, will just be 0. And so we have to make sure that we include that vector c as to represent the family of functions whose derivative is lowercase r of t. All right, so key important things here is that when we take the integral to find the indefinite integral, we integrate component by component. And because we're finding an entire family of antiderivatives, we must add that vector c that represents a vector whose components are scalars. All right, let's try an example. So let's suppose that we want to compute the integral of the vector function given. We are going to integrate component by component. So we can do it all at once, or we can separate. I'm going to separate these and just call this number 1, each component, so number 2 and number 3, and then we'll put it all together into one vector function. So the antiderivative of t to the 5th dt, so we're going to do integral of t to the 5th dt. Well, this is just a power rule, so we'll have t to the 6th over 6. So that's for number 1. For number 2, the integral, and we'll just make sure we subtract this, of 2t over t squared plus 1 dt. This is our second component. Here we can do a u substitution. So we can let u be the denominator t squared plus 1. Then du will be 2t dt. And so this is the integral of 1 over u du, whose antiderivative will be the natural log of the absolute value of u. And I'm going to go ahead and put in t squared plus 1. I don't really need the absolute value here because t squared plus 1 will always be a positive quantity. But I'm going to leave it there for now. And then our third component, if we integrate the third component, we have the integral of cosine squared of 3t dt. We could do integration by parts here, or you might remember our power reduction identities. So cosine squared of 3t can be written as 1 plus cosine of 6t over 2 dt. So let me just remind you which identity I'm using here. This is our power reduction identity of cosine squared theta is 1 plus cosine 2 theta over 2. And so you can see that our angle doubles, which is why in my expression here I have cosine of 6t. So let's continue with our integral. I'm going to factor out a 1/2, and we're left with the integral of 1 plus cosine of 6t, which we can go ahead and integrate each part of this addend. So we have, or each part of the sum, each addend. So we have a 1/2. Antiderivative of 1 with respect to t is t, plus 1/2. Antiderivative of cosine of 6t will be sine of 6t divided by 6. And so this has given us 1/2 t plus sine of 6t over 12. Now putting it all together for our result, so our solution will be a vector whose components are the antiderivatives that we just found. So the first was t to the 6th over 6, and this is our first component of our vector function. The second is the natural log of t squared plus 1. That is our second component of our vector function. And the third is 1/2 t plus sine of 6t over 12. That is our z component of our vector function. And we have to also remember that because we're finding a family of functions that are antiderivatives of the given vector space curve, we have to add that vector c in the end. So there is our solution. Hopefully you can see there that c at the very end of my screen.